What is up, everyone? And welcome to a very special edition of The Danny Show. I'm your host, Danny Cody, giving you commentary and reviews on all things wrestling. Thank you guys so much for joining, and thank you guys for helping me get close to 500. I really appreciate it. Today, or tonight rather, we're going to talk about NXT. A great ending, by the way. It was a wild ending. You always got to have that wild ending. And I thought the ending was wild and very exciting and entertaining as well. Before I go any further, let me give you guys a couple of humorous thoughts. First off, I thought it was very hilarious how the fans were. I felt like I was in elementary school earlier today as the fans were standing up during Chelsea Green's match with Sol Roca, and the fans were standing up saying the Pledge of Allegiance. I felt like I was in elementary school all over again. I don't know about you guys, but I just felt like I was in school at night. That's what it made me feel like. But congratulations, Chelsea Green. I will not dare try to sound like all these silly announcers. By the way, Samantha Irvin announces Chelsea Green the best. Alicia Taylor, as awesome as she is, although I think more so about Samantha in a modest way. Alicia Taylor, as great as she is, Samantha Irvin is the original, and she announced it way better, and she set the pace for everyone to follow. But Mike Rome, please stop trying to do it like everybody else and just do it in a unique way that fits for you. And never mind. But anyway, I'm just not going to say. I'm going to say Chelsea Green. And I'm just going to leave it right there. I'm not going to try and put that sass in it. That's for the ladies to do, with all due respect. But moving forward, I thought that was very hilarious. I also found it very hilarious that Booker T continues to risk getting on the couch and continues to risk divorce because Stephanie Vakir came out and cut a celebration promo that was interrupted by Jordan Grace before it got interrupted by the one and only JP Parker. JP and Stephanie on NXT next week. It's going to be great. But Stephanie Vakir is going to be pulling double duty as she faces everyone's favorite woman on NXT, JP, Jada Parker, I'm speaking of, and has to pull duty to face Fallon Henley so that she can finally stop getting on Ava Rain's last nerve with her continuously Karen-like behavior. We should call her, instead of calling her Fallon Henley, we should call her Karen Henley. That's what we're going to call her. Karen Fallon Henley. Or Fallon Karen Henley. Karen is her last name now because she just won't stop fussing around. And of course, by the way, I never said this before, but I think Fatal Influence does kind of have a cool theme song as somebody who likes heavy rock and stuff like that. But in the meantime, congratulations to JC Jane for picking up a victory against Carmen, who I just don't think they're going to last. From a kayfabe standpoint, I do not think this is going to last. And I don't think Jada Parker is going to appreciate the fact that while Jada is cutting her promo, Carmen and Ashante the Dummy, that's what he is, for bringing the steel chair and almost getting her disqualified. Ashante will now be known as Ashante the Dummy because that was just not a smart move. But in any event, I don't think Jada Park is going to appreciate that during her promo, in the background, you could see Carmen and Ashante the Dummy arguing. That I don't think that's going to sit well with Jada, knowing that the spotlight was shared by something else. And also, Booker T continues to risk being on the couch because even though Stephanie Vakir was not in action, so she didn't get to do that little special move that Booker likes, Booker is still talking about tag teams. During the Hank and Tank match, Booker T referenced a few things. One of the things he referenced was the Young Guns, which was managed by a blonde wrestler by the name of Tylene Buck, who had issues with Charmel during the WCW days. Why, Booker, are you trying to get heat with your wife? You know Booker T and Charmel and Thailand did not get along that well back in the WCW days. They fought at times. And from what I heard, Thailand Buck was also an egg crusher or an egg kicker. So Rey Mysterio can attest to that. And the fact that he was able to have Aaliyah and Simp 19 Dom after dealing with all of that was a miracle. For those of us who saw WCW back in the 99 and 2000s, they weren't as good as WWE anymore, but at that time, but you get my flow. But anyway, he alluded to them, and Vic Joseph's like, "Are you trying to get in trouble, dude?" But that was something. I also thought it was very hilarious the Rolling Stone reference as far as Ashante Theodonis was concerned. Papa was a Rolling Stone. I love how Booker T did that. It was hilarious. But let's get down to serious business here. After all the comedy, we have the Shield 2.0 attacking Tony D'Angelo during a tag team match with that cult of with the Perfect Ten's new cult and the family, the Don West family. And thanks to that, the cultists, or the cult as I like to call them, won that match due to the distractions. And they were not done yet because after Ricky Saints picked up his victory, congratulations, Ricky Saints. I hope we see him at Stand and Deliver next year in his hometown of New Orleans if he's not on the main WrestleMania card. Of course, after that, we had the almost UFC like energy with the NXT Underground match with Trick Williams versus Eddie Thorpe. And the match ended with Trick Williams winning with the running knee shot and the punches, much like the quick match he had last week, I believe. After that, the Shield and Retribution failed spinoff decides to come to the ring, and Siobhan Evans tried to come in, and this is why Booker T always talks about concerning yourself with business that concerns you. And I almost agree with that point about minding your own business. I'm like that in real life. But in any event, Siobhan Evans tried to do that, tried to help, and ended up being a part of the triple threat fight between Trick Williams, who called out Obafemi. And it was those two fighting. And now it's been mixed up between Siobhan Evans in the middle, while the NXT Shield and Retribution spinoff failure watched the whole thing. So I thought that was an amazing ending to tonight's episode of NXT. I'm really looking forward to seeing what. I'm nervous about Stephanie Vakir pulling double duty. The last time a woman pulled double duty, she lost one of the championships. Becky Lynch at Money in the Bank 2019, I'm speaking of. But at least Bayley came in and cashed in on Charlotte Flair. But in the meantime, I'm a little interested to see how this Shield and Retribution spinoff is going to work or fail. But in the meantime, I'm your host, Daniel Cody. Tonight's ending of NXT was great, in my personal opinion. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What did you think about tonight's episode of NXT? Until next time, I'm your host, Daniel Cody. Be sure to check out my community posts where you'll see other great things. And I will see you guys next time. Have a safe week.